Good morning and welcome to Today at the Races at Laurel Park on this Saturday, August 5th, 2023. Tim Tulloch alongside Dave Rodman. Dave, we had a little bit of a wild day here yesterday at Laurel Park. Really, really good for if you were on some of these horses. You opened up the day with two winners in a row, a $10.20 winner on the Cairo Kid, and you followed up Princess Palmer, $12.40. Early double.
And then things fell apart. No, I think I had maybe one other winner.
You had
great idea.
Yeah, great idea. $8.80.
The fall apart, I think, for everybody, obviously, is in the late pick five. Only one favorite, I think, in the sequence. That was Galerio, who fired up with 81 yesterday. Fine Faith and Robin Graham. Oh, the coulda, shoulda, woulda horse for me was that horse yesterday. I said, this horse can run. We like the way broke its maiden, and look at him. Maybe he wants to go 7/8 of a mile. He's not that quick, but a great ride by Richard Monterey. Put him right up front, and he was that quick. And so this horse with a lot of talent, maybe on the upside, maybe the next kind of a up and swinging super accelerate, though I don't think his buyers are that fast, but a really nice job with that long shot. Congratulations to those who sniffed that out in Fine Faith at 32-1.
$66.80 winner. Finished out the day a $14.16 winner with Iron Ranger. But because of that, we've got some good carryovers this afternoon. Carryover in the Rainbow Pick 6, which we'll get to, and a carryover in the late pick 5. So that should be probably very well bet this afternoon. You might want to get involved in that. Let's talk about a couple things that are coming up the rest of August. We have our August Turf Festival next weekend and the following weekend, both big stakes weekends. The Bald Eagle going 1 mile and 3/16 on the grass, 100,000. The Searching going 1 mile and a 16th on the grass for 3-year-old fillies. Both those races are for 3-year-olds next Sunday, August 13th. And then the following weekend, Saturday, August 19th, we have a couple of Maryland-bred races, $75,000 each that weekend. That's our getaway weekend, isn't it? I believe it is, before we go on up the road. But also, Dave, we've got coming up what you like, that Champions Handicapping Tournament.
Right. Be sure to register. Go to laurelpark.com for more details online. Not only cash prizes, but seats to the NHC, the Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge, and the Pegasus World Cup Betting Challenge as well. And I think the registration is going pretty strong right now on that Laurel Park Champions Handicapping Tournament. Close to $12,000 guaranteed prizes, and more people, the more money in that prize pool. And, of course, your chance to play in the NHC, the BCBC, or the Pegasus World Cup Challenge. In the list of prizes there will be online for you.
And some of the most fun about that day is I'll run into people I haven't seen from years from Delaware Park and other surrounding racetracks. Before we get into today's card, let's take a quick look outside. And it's overcast again. The humidity certainly came up a bit overnight.
Yeah, a little bit. I think maybe some rain in the forecast on Monday, but looking at the long-term forecast, we should be good to go, hopefully, next week for the grass as well, as the weather is cool, but still a bit humid, and we'll take it though. 76 degrees right now, and there is the Watchtower Eagle watching over the course.
Yes, the place should be a wildlife refuge. We have so much wildlife out there. We've got beaver, we got fox, we've got eagles, we've got it all out there. But let's dive into this big 9-race card. Race 1, as always, starts off the early pick 5 industry low. 12% takeout, 50-cent minimum. Early pick 5, like we mentioned. Late pick 5, a carryover of over 11,000 in that. But let's start. Race 1, now there's a 2, 16,000, 1 mile on the grass for 3-year-olds and up. And we're going to start with your top pick in here, Dave. That is the 8, Peja Du. We're going to look at his most recent race. Well, he broke his maiden here on July 7th.
Check 7/16, rode the inside after the trouble and shot on through and had a decent acceleration through the stretch. So they're kind of keeping him at the level where he belongs right here. Not getting too ambitious after the 65 buyer number. If he can repeat his last race, he had a little trouble there, and here comes shooting through down to the inside under Jeron Barbosa that day, and riding him back again today for trainer Rob Atras. There you go. Here's that final 8th kick. Nice action, pulling away there from Solomon's Choice, World Factor. But, I don't think it's an easy spot. I think the race is kind of wide open. I see you like a horse that was recently gelded in here, and that's Neutral, who was gelded 2 back before the Win 2 back. After April 30th and before the June 18th race. And boy, there was some big response out of that at 9-1 with a decent number as well.
A decent number, and how much do I like him? He's my best bet of the day. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But look, a good-looking win. Got the job done, 3/4 of a length win for that maiden 30, a little bit tougher than your top pick. I thought that was a pretty respectable race at Monmouth Park for the 40. He only gets beat 7 lengths while running 6, runs a lifetime best figure. He gets back here amongst friends. This is the spot.
Yeah.
Now where's a 2 for 16 after breaking your maiden 4:30. So it looks like you want to talk about another?
No, I was just saying, no, on the turf course that he won on, he maybe just didn't like that Monmouth course. I do want to talk about Ripken.
Sure,
and,
Let's talk about Ripken.
We thought Ripken was retired, right? But no, he's been at Presque Isle Pen, etc. This horse likes this course. He seems to be in good form, and he's run his best numbers in this course. So don't overlook him with Angel Cruz, and he's a nice price too. I think he may be the kind of the horse that come rolling late at a price in this race. I had to use him in here.
I agree. I used him as well. I think you're right. He does like this course. He's run his best speed figures over the Laurel course. 8-12, 4-11 for Dave in the opener. 6-8, 4-12 for myself. As we move to race number 2, as always, race number 2 kicks off the early pick 4. Dave Rodman, you put together a ticket, $12. How'd you play it?
Alrighty, so we're using the 1 and the 3, Bootsy's Merlot Family Gal in the opening leg of the pick 4, going with the 1 and the 9, Matty Bow and Gambat in the second leg. In the third leg, a little deeper, 4, 5, 7. This is less than a $20 ticket. It's only $12. In the fourth race, Annalise Houdini will video spotlight that horse. And a little bit, some speed in there, maybe could set it up for him. Charged to Victory in good form. Spotted Bull's a tough customer when he's right. And in the fifth race, and he's Battle of Baston coming back to the turf after a dirt race. He's got that turf breeding. And number 4, Call Me a Dreamer. Kind of a sneaky horse. Shows speed long, shortening up to 5.5. And I need a price in there. Maybe that's the one. But then again, maybe not.
Maybe not. $12 ticket for Dave Rodman in the early pick 4. Race 2 is for maiden 2-year-old fillies going 3/4 mile. Maiden claiming price $30,000. And I think we're both on the 3 here. That is Family Gal for Claudio Gonzalez. Scratch the 2. Go Sherry Go, which was first time starter for Mr. Frock. But I like that one a little bit, but that one's out. Family Gal right here rallied a little bit behind the next out winner going 5/8 mile at Monmouth.
The key there was blinkers on at Monmouth for Claudio Gonzalez and Family Gal. That was 5/8. Closed, all of a sudden got interested in late stretch and that just last 1/8 of a mile maybe before the wire, finished third and was finishing well and galloped out nice and strong too. The winner out of that race, the runner-up, came back to win. Axel Concepcion aboard for Claudio here, and a horse that looks like she'll appreciate that extra furlong. It's second time blinkers and gets that extra 1/8 of a mile. Bootsy's Merlot on the inside there, kind of an interesting horse too as well. Was late to switch leads in a couple of races I watched, the one here at Laurel Park, but maybe if they can get her to switch leads, again, another 1/8 of a mile for the Congrats filly. May make an impact in here, but I think maybe Family Gal is the horse to beat. Almost singled her really in that early pick 4.
Yeah, I think that's the case with Bootsy's Merlot. She just kind of churned along, going 5/8 of a mile. Maybe the extra half, furlong this afternoon helps Bootsy Merlot. Very similar in race. We're exactly the same in race number 2.
Snake entered 2. Snake Frock. Well, the Frocks. 2 Go Sherry Doe scratch, but they do have another one in here. Victoria's Divining Rod. 18% 2-year-old first-time starters. So, has bullet work at Pimlico, right?
Yeah, and this one's shown a really sharp work from the gate on June 25th, half mile, 47 and change up there at Old Hilltop. We are exactly the same here in race number 2. Moving to race number 3, we go to the grass course once again. 5.5 furlongs on the turf. This is a maiden 20 for maiden 3 fillies and mares, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. And we're going to start with your top pick here, Dave. That is the 1, Matty Bow. First time on the turf, first time Lasix. And this big thing that you brought up, least off the claim, second time Rudy Sanchez Solomon.
Yeah, it didn't work yesterday, did it?
It didn't, but it came close.
Yeah, second time in the barn, always strong for Rudy Solomon. Hey Chief was third yesterday, still pretty sluggish and kind of got going late, but really should have won that race, off form. Two-time turf winner was the dam, Matinee Babe. Not only two-time turf winner, but two-time turf winner and one turf win here over this course. So I don't know. It's kind of reaching maybe for that angle, but it is first Lasix and second time. Rudy Solomon has speed down to the inside. I think they're just going to try to go with her this afternoon.
Yeah, you're going to have to have some speed drawing the fence. You're going to have to use her early. I have the 10 Mashawa on top for Phil Capuano, getting a class relief here this afternoon, just to be third off a little bit of a break. Has the races from last year that could be good enough here.
Gunbat. Interesting filly in here. I think going to be a lot better price than Matty Bow, number 9. Second time out and first time on a firm course. Look back to that race at Penn National in her debut. She appeared to me to kind of dislike the yielding ground, right? I mean, that's certainly a factor, the cut in the ground.
There's no doubt about that. And she was even. She didn't do anything terrible, didn't do anything good, but she just ran around there even. I have the same type of notes, getting a firm course. Busy. The 6 for Donovan Houghton's a little interesting, outside looking in. Best gets involved here if she can improve a little bit here in race 3. Let's move to race 4. This kicks off the Rainbow Pick 6. We have a carryover in the Rainbow Pick 6, and it looks like this: $11,277. I put together a ticket this afternoon, $38.40 ticket. I'm going to go 5-6 here in race number 4. In race 5, I go 3 deep, 3-5-7 in race 5. Race 6, 2 deep there, 1 and the 4. I like Genie in the bottle for Jamie Ness in that spot there. Race 7, I'm going to go 2 deep again, 4 and the 10. The 4 Hitch a Ride is my price play of the day. This filly's finally going to get back on the grass. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Race 8, 2 key scratches in race 8, leaves us with a 4-horse field. I just hit the all button because once those 2 horses came out, it came wide open. Hit the all, 4 horses. And in race 9, I used the 6 and the 10 to round out the Rainbow Pick 6. 11,000 and change in the carryover, $38.40 ticket. Race 4, starter allowance, 7/8 of a mile for 3-year-olds and up. We're going to start with your top pick here. Horse that I did not get to, Holidays Houdini. We're going to look at his race from July 15th up there at Monmouth Park.
Okay, let's look at the race first here. Holidays Houdini spotlighted there, the pink circle, and it come rolling on the outside, and that's kind of his MO, right? 7-year-old. He's got some good late kick. He's run a little closer to the pace in the past if necessary, but with some speeds in here of the 3 free square and the 6 pit stop man, he make it a little farther back today, but he came rolling to finish second, closed ground on the stretch behind a horse named Mundo Mix, and I think that's the key here. That horse came back to win his next start with a Wham Bam 85 buyer number in his next start, and that was better on the same card and the next out win than a horse named Ego Man, 8-time winner. I think this horse has just moved forward here. It's the second time for Hugh McMahon. He's always had ability, right? He likes Laurel, 2 wins out of 19, a lot of seconds and thirds. But with a couple of speeds up front, maybe he'll get a good trip today, and I'm enticed by the price and Axel Concepcion on the board.
I think you'll get a nice price. Axel had a nice day yesterday. You'll get a nice price there. I have the 5 Charge to Victory on top. He's a 10-time winner, and he's been in excellent form this year. He's a winner of 3 in a row as we speak. He's won at this level. Needs to make sure he gets away, though.
Victor Carrasco has been on him for all 3 of his last wins, right? 3 straight. He's a Colonial Downs that let's go to Jamie Rodriguez, right? So this horse has just really been tenacious in his last 3 starts, a little more step up in today for him. I think he could do it if he can retain the form of his last 3 efforts. Who else do we want to talk about?
We want to talk about Pit Stop Man. You have to 2-1 on the line.
Yeah.
This is another horse that's been in very, very good form in 2023. He's won at this starter level. He can fire big numbers. My biggest question about Pit Stop Man is the 7/8 of a mile.
My biggest question about Pit Stop Man is free square. You know, I mean, they
go.
both seem to have
both
early
have
speed in here. So I went for a bit of a closer from off the pace. Another horse that fits the MO there is Spotted Bull. He likes Laurel, and he seems to try every race as well. 4, 5, 7, and 6 went for what I think is going to be a little better price there. And Annalise Houdini off the Mundo Mix race.
Yeah, my issue with Spotted Bull is sometimes he just doesn't fire
exactly
going 7/8 of a mile like he fires when they're going 5.5 and 6. He can come up with that big run. Of course, Bahama Channel on the outside for the Red Hot Annette Eubanks. We'll move to race 5 in a minute. We need to take a short break. When we get back, we'll talk about that late pick 5 and the nice carryover we have in store for you.
And here comes Point of Entry. Point of Entry's taking the lead. Point of Entry wins.
Plaku Parfait is finishing hard along the inside. Plaku Parfait takes out the Derby.
Welcome back to Today at the Races. Tim Tulloch with Dave Rodman. Let's talk about race number 5, which kicks off the late pick 5. We have a little carryover in the late pick 5. $11,201 will start out here this afternoon in the late pick 5. Race 5 is a maiden event. 3, 4, and 5-year-olds going 5.5 furlongs on the grass, and we'll start with my top pick in this race, the 7. That's a Certain, and we're going to look at Certain's race from June 9th right here at Laurel Park, Dave, when he just got beat a neck while running second for the maiden 45.
This is interesting. The running line in your form, your program doesn't say it all, because he got past the horse on the lead, kind of opens up a little bit on him. And here he comes. He came back again just to get beat a nose. I thought a very game effort. Granted, he's been second. Here he comes, right back, right? The horse on the lead, 7, opened up by a length and change. Ooh, he came back to make it close. So he likes to fight. He likes to battle a little bit. Been a bit unlucky. Caught a soft course after that race at Delaware Park. Did run third, but again, it's firm today. And then ships to Virginia, or ran second again as a beaten favorite. You know, maybe he's just on the cusp of finally putting it together. I think, if you toss him out going, he loves to run second, you're asking for trouble in here.
Look, he's in very, very good form. I thought that was a good race that we just saw on video. I think he got tied up a little bit. His mind was on the horse to his inside, and then when the horse came to his outside, I like what he did. He said, oh, wait a minute, there's one more, and he rebroke. He just ran out of real estate. But I do like Certain this afternoon. You like the 3 Battle of Bastogne this afternoon. Why not? I remember Keith Fustel having this as his price play of the day. I think that's the day we came off the turf after the first race, and this horse didn't get a chance to run on the grass, but this should work for him.
Well, many years ago, before the internet and before computers, back when people actually used
when the form was printed the morning of the races.
Let me tell you one thing, Sonny. Back when people used to keep the actual charts in a book. I know somebody upstairs who used to do that. A wise man at the OTB told me, the chart call says it all, son. Read the charts. So anyway, finished 6th on the dirt last time out, but that wasn't his game. He's out of Vilsam, right? Solid turf course. He's a half-brother to Post Time. And Vilsam won $250,000 on the turf. This obviously is a turf horse. They're dropping him in a little bit here. And he had too much to do, no pun intended, in his debut. Was given a tall order to catch a horse named Tall Order, pun intended, who went absolutely slow on the front and was the lone lick back there on June the 9th. I think you'll see a better effort today on Battle of Bastogne.
I would not be, well, I bet you he goes off second choice, I would think. It would not surprise me at all. Let's talk about Bubba Chrome real quick. First time on the turf, most recently. Good effort, just missed at this similar level. Look, he didn't get a great trip. Cleaner trip could make all the difference for Bubba Chrome.
Oh, the turnaround on the turf. Boy, this horse did wake up on the grass, for sure. Better number, better effort, better everything. Just got beaten to photo finish. tough to exclude given that big turnaround on the grass. He likes it. He's just a ordinary maiden claimer on the turf, but popped up with a 10, 20 point, actually, right? 20 better
points.
buyer number on the grass when finishing second upside down man. That horse ran this week, right? It battled yesterday, right?
It did.
So even better for Bubba Chrome today. The 4 Call Me a Dreamer is an interesting horse. Imagining out of Laney and Erman, that makes this horse kin sibling to I'm Betty G, who won $300,000 on the turf. So that's the reason they put the horse on the grass going long. But he was there, showed speed, and kind of faltered late. Maybe he doesn't want to go long. He's got the pedigree and ran a lot better on the grass. A mid-50 buyer number, first time on the turf at Delaware Park. The shorten up here, they might outkick him early, but maybe he'll have a little kick in the stretch from the route to the sprint.
Now, going back in time, the late, great Dickie Small would say, don't follow families. Mr. and Mrs. Lewis had 6 sons. Only one of them was named Joe. There you have it. All right, let's move on to race number 6. 7531 for myself in race number 5, and Dave's numbers were up there, 3-5 something. Let's move on to race 6. Here we go. 9 Wars of 2 lifetime. 25,000 is the claiming price. 3/4 of a mile on the dirt. This kicks off the Super High 5. It's the only Super High 5 jackpot carryover from yesterday, $2,709. So you might want to get involved in that. There's a lot to get involved in here today. We have a nice card of races with some carryovers. Race 6, here we go. You have the 5 on top. Hide Right Away. Is that correct?
Well, that's correct. But
that is correct. Okay, hey, look, this is a horse I've liked at times, but I've had a little bit of a love-hate relationship. Not love-hate, but I've really liked him a couple times. But he ran into Liquidator. He ran into Happy Clouds, which they can run a little bit.
I had trouble handicapping the race as posted. There were 10 in the race, 3 Thunder Bosses out. So that took the speed, I thought, perhaps inside a Hide Right Away out of the race. So what did I do? I went to what I think is going to be, perhaps, the other speed. Too much for him to do last time out with Liquidator. The streaking 3 in a row, I'm Liberty Bell before that. But this horse has early speed if they want to use it, and I think they may try that tack today. I think she's faster early than Genie in a Bridle. My sister Nancy. Sweet Chugs for sure. I mean, looking around, Spencerian's a closer. Loving Cup's definitely a closer. I just think maybe from a pace standpoint, she runs back to her on the front pace races. She could be tough in here. I don't know. Spencerian was kind of the pick if the speed fell apart, and it still may, come closing first time for Anthony Ferrier off the claim. The 1 Genie in a Bridle, your top pack, I can see certainly dangerous after the beaten favorites role. Second, Ali Oxen for you ran big back of July 15.
Genie in a Bridle, second off the claim for Jamie Ness. Always a very, very good angle. I've got the 1 Genie in a Bridle on top. Race number 6. Race number 7, 5.5 furlongs on the turf. First level allowance race for fillies and mares. We'll start with this race. Big scratch in this race. Take out the 9 money's worth for Graham Motion. That one comes out. And the race becomes a little wide open. You land on the 7 in this spot. This is Mrs. 7.
8.
The 8, I'm sorry, the 8.
Unless I put the wrong number up.
Ala
Right.
Brave
Okay.
for Michael Matz.
I didn't want to, but I had to.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Because, I thought as a 2-year-old, her debut in this car, I thought she was going to be a nice horse, like improving, going on to Stakes Company. They laid her up for a long time. I don't know what happened. She ran back as a 3-year-old here with Lasix. Didn't show much, but at the starting gate, she kind of is a little bit reluctant to load up. Noticed the last couple of times. I got to get behind her. It doesn't delay the start, but, kind of she's maybe a little bit quirky, and maybe today she can get it together and run back to her 2-year-old form. I know a big ask, but I thought she ran a little bit better last time out in prompting the pace, and maybe she is the pace of the race here. Just maybe.
Yeah, I have the 4 Hitch a Ride on top for Gary Capuano off the turf in her last 2 starts. She still ran quite respectively, but you go back to her turf races. Her first race after the layoff over the winter was on the grass. Not a bad effort. She only got beat 3 lengths. Go back to last fall. This filly can fire some decent figures there. I think she gets back on the grass today. I think she could be very, very dangerous this afternoon. Let's talk about the 11 summer odds. You have to. I mean, this is a filly, a mare now that has run into some off the turf races and hung in there and run well. But her turf efforts have been pretty good.
What did Dickie Small say about the family? So
I'm not following the family. I'm following the form.
I'm just saying, it's just like no pedigree on top, no pedigree on bottom for the grass, but she can run.
She's honest.
So and honestly, could be the fastest mare in the race. But if you're looking for a hint on the pedigree side, it's not there. But certainly her ability is there. I mean, she can win.
She tries every time.
Yep.
Race 7. 8, 10, 11, 2 for Dave. 4, 11, 8, 10 for myself as we move to race number 8. A couple scratches in here. The 2 stage left and the 5 Sir Alfred James. It leaves us with a 4-horse field in this wide open allowance race. It's a shame that happened, but it is what it is. Let's take a look. We both have the 6 on top. No, you have the 3 on top here. Al loves Josie for Jerry Robb. Yeah, I mean, this horse hasn't really shown up since last February, but as Jerry Robb comes in here with sharp work.
Well, let's look at his last 3 races, always in a hurry. That was the Frank Whiteley going 7/8 of a mile. 6 is kind of maybe more the MO. Delaware Park, I mean, I can excuse the trip. It was out of town. Sir Wellington, obviously nice horse, and ran in the classier, the Kieran McGee runner, who ran second the other night at Charlestown. So I think in this spot with a short field, it's going to be go, send him. He may be the speed of the speed in a short field. But, I mean, Hopeful Treasure, for crying out loud. He won a grade 3 fall weight handicap a long time ago in 2021 at Aqueduct, right? I mean, I can see him obviously off a class. 3, 6, and 1 in there. I didn't put a 4th up there. There's only 4 horses, sorry.
Yeah, the 4 Chief Ron. Look, Chief Ron, let's talk about Chief Ron real quick. Runs into 3s over Deuce, Sir Wellington, 3s over Deuces, and Lightning Larry. We know what Lightning Larry came back and didn't he win the De Francis the other day?
Yes,
he did.
Yeah.
Only beaten 4 lengths while running 3rd. But it's just kind of turned a little wide open for me in race 4 and race 8. That's why I just hit the all button. Let's move to race number 9. We're going to finish out the day back on the grass going 1 mile and 16th. These are maidens. Maiden 45,000, and let's start with the 2, your top pick, Catch the Kitten, and we're going to check out a video from July 9th, Catch the Kitten.
All right. Up there in the circle, Catch the Kitten. It's kind of maybe a little tough to follow there. In the gray silk, gets in a jackpot round the far turn, and then later in the stretch,
break.
at the 8th pole, right there at the bottom of the screen, got shuffled, lost several lengths. Then tries to rally up on the inside, the yellow circle here in the stretch. Not really a lot of room down in there, and I don't know. I play too many horses kind of like this. Here they come. They look like they're going to move on the inside at the 8th pole on the turf, and here comes somebody sweeping up on the outside. But considering all the trouble in the race, I think she deserves one more chance. Stephen Kyle, he won it with Aliferous at 30-1. A horse named Cut from Class on the turf. And the Dam, Walking the Kitten, byred up with a top number in her career of 83. On the grass. So good family there, been a little unlucky last time out, maybe today. Yeah,
so before we get to the favorite, which will be the favorite in this race, first time sorry for Dark Pool, let's talk about Forgotten Gift coming out of the same race as Catch the Kitten. Found a little bit of trouble herself that particular day. He's going to get Sheldon Russell this afternoon. Decent number for that group. a little bit cleaner trip, and maybe she can lay a little closer.
Yeah, I wouldn't rule her out. Tim Keefe and Sheldon Russell, how many races they've won together, right? Had the trouble in the race, noted for sure on July 9th. The Carmel Sunrise, the same race where Tanka Tough was second, Nami third, and Catch the Kitten in the video there you saw.
Let's talk about Dark Pool. First-time starter for Christophe Clement. Jamie Rodriguez gets the call. He's about 17% with his firsters. Runs in this race. Lasix at first time out. Runs protected. It's an interesting move. You send him down here. It's probably an easier spot you're going to find in New York or anywhere else, and you can protect her, maybe get her a win. I'm sure she's not the most talented filly in his barn. No, she's not, but
I think that's why she's here. Yeah, the sire collected pretty decent, 13% winners in turf routes. This is the first foal out of an 0-for-4 dam on the turf, but had like a mid-60 buyer numbers. But Christophe Clement with fillies, first time on the turf, 19% and a positive ROI of $2.78. But when you narrow it down to Maryland, not quite as good. But you know, he's sending this filly down here for a reason. Maybe will not, cut the mustard up there. Saratoga debut on the turf, maiden special weight in New York. So Dark Pool for sure deserves a big look in here, and I'd use the horse on tickets for sure. I'm not saying it. There's nothing negative about the stat there.
2-9-6-4 in the finale for Dave. 5-10 4-2 for myself. That will do our 9-race card here this afternoon. Remember, carryovers in the Super High Five, the Rainbow Pick 6, and of course the Super High Five jackpot, which happens at race number 6. A couple long shots. What do I have here? Price play. My best bet right here in race number 1. My best bet of the day is a 6 neutral for Kieran McGee, dropping back to what should be a really, really good spot for him. Broke the maiden for 30, in for now, where's a 2 lifetime for 16. That is the spot. We generally talk about horses being worth, there's exceptions, being worth half of what they broke their maiden for. That's what's happening here this afternoon with neutral and Kieran McGee. My price play comes in race number 7. That's Hitch a Ride for Gary Capuano. Axel Concepcion gets the call. This one is coming out of 2 races that came off the turf. Hung in there, ran well. She hasn't lost any form. She's finally going to get back on the turf in good form for the first time this year. She ran once on the turf already this year, but it was first off a layoff. Not a bad effort. She only got beat 3.5 lengths. I'm going on those races from last August, September. Hitch a Ride, 10-1 on the line.
11,277 pick 6, late pick 5, 11,201 the carryover. Jackpot High 5 race, 2709 in the 6th of the Jackpot Super High 5 race. And that's all I got to say.
We're not quite Stacy's mom, but we got it going on. I can tell you that.
Got it.
That's going to do it for Dave and myself, but Dave's going to be right back with scratches and changes. Good luck.